I got some new camera gear, so I'm trying to figure out how to use it. I got a new mic, a new tripod for the camera, and I also have this big ring light. It's not even a ring light, it's like a studio light, but it's really bright. So yeah, I'm excited to make videos now. In today's video, we are gonna be discussing the 38 gallon and what's going on with that tank. I haven't really done an update on this aquarium. However, we are coming up on the 4-month mark, but the tank looks nothing how I want it to look for an update video. But with that, I want to show you guys the tank in its state right now because it's never perfect. New aquariums within the first year, I would say there's a lot of outbreaks that you'll encounter. Every tank is different. Some more than others will have more algae, but in my experience, you will deal with some sort of nuisance in that first year. So like I stated, the tank is coming up on 4 months. It's just shy of like 3 days, I want to say. And it still remains to have hair algae, and I am seeing some bubble algae forming as well, which is not fun. Now, I kind of want to get some help from you guys because I honestly cannot figure out the reason or the cause of this algae in my tank. I first thought it was too high of nutrients, but my nitrates are only around 10 parts per million, and my phosphates are even lower. I want to say they're at around 0.05 ppm. I need to look at my notes, but extremely low for my nutrient levels. When I had really low nutrient levels, I had a dino outbreak. So then I upped my nutrients, I added a few more fish, but it seems like that is causing this green hair algae issue. Obviously over time it's built up and there's been new patches and there's new algae everywhere. So I go in once a week and I usually pick it out when I do water changes, but lately it's been just so much that it's growing over the magnetic rock frag racks on the back, and it's been growing over all of the sand bed as well. So it's really ugly and it's, like I said, a nuisance. So I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of it, but I haven't been able to do it. I thought cutting back light would help with it. So I reduced my lights, at least the white and the red channels. The red channels is 0, but the whites I reduced to about 30%, and all the other channels that are on are below 30% as well. So these lights are not intense whatsoever. At least they're not intense how I have them set up. So I don't think that there's too much light in the tank. I actually feel like I want to turn my lights up, but I'm scared of causing more algae in the aquarium. So I really am at a loss of where this algae is coming from. I try to remove it manually, and in the same exact spots, it comes back up. If you guys have any comments on that, please let me know in the comment section below, because anything will help. What I'm kind of scared of doing is the spot treatment of putting hydrogen peroxide or whatever the mixture is, 2 pieces of algae. I know you can do it in very small portions over time, and you're supposed to do that so you don't kill anything else, but I am a little scared to do that, to be completely honest. So if there's any other methods besides that, then let me know in the comments down below. Another issue I've been having in this aquarium, well, more so in my apartment, is now that it's winter time, I've been trying to turn the heater on and regulate the temperature a little bit warmer, but it's hard to do that because at night it gets obviously a lot colder than during the day. During the day it can get upwards of like 80 to 82 degrees in the apartment, and that's obviously too hot for the aquariums. But then at night it can drop down to like low 60s, which again is too low for the aquarium, so it's kind of hard to regulate it. I should probably get a thermostat for the aquarium, but of course there's the Cobalt 100 watt heater in there that's keeping the tank warm. It's more so cooling it down. Now with that, the tank has had a couple temperature increases over the past few days, and the corals have not responded well to it. A lot of them are closed up right now, unfortunately. And the tank is just at a really ugly state to show you guys, but I feel like that's a true and honest state to show, because this is really what it is. And I try to take pride in my tanks, and I know my aquariums at some points have looked decent, but right now the 38 is not looking good at all. And the 20 gallon is on a standby. We're not really doing much with that right now. I'm just waiting until I get an ATO for this thing, and then I really just want to take my time with the 20 gallon. But while we're waiting for all of that and waiting for the ATO, I kind of want to start focusing on maybe switching up the 38 gallon and changing some things up. So a couple videos ago, I talked about my shallow sand bed possibly being an issue for the aquarium for whatever reason. Not having a deep sand bed and not having the beneficial bacteria in the sand bed, I thought maybe that was causing some sort of issue in the aquarium for nutrients. I know a couple of you guys in the comments said that that's not possible. Having shallow sand beds, you guys are having no issues in your aquariums. Just from my experience, I had my 30 gallon setup a couple of years ago, and I had a deep sand bed in that aquarium, and I've, for these past few years, been trying to chase down that aquarium and the level that it was at and how well it was doing. So I'm trying to replicate that as best as possible. In the 20 gallon I have set up, or I'm gonna be setting up, I have a very deep sand bed planned for that. It's sitting at about 2.5 inches right now. So for the 38 gallon in the next few weeks, what I wanna do is start to implement more sand in the aquarium. I wanna add probably another 20 pounds of sand in here at least, and get it to a solid 2.5 inches so that we have a deep sand bed in there. Doing that, and then what we're also gonna do is take all of these toadstools off of the sand bed and try to place them on top of the rock so that the sand bed is completely clear. Also, what I want to try and do is switch up the aquascape a little bit. I think I am going to change up the aquascape. This will be like the third iteration of what the 38 gallon will look like. It's more so flow and then also lighting as well for the corals. So a lot of the corals up top are getting 8 inches more of light, if that makes any sense, or I guess maybe double the par that the ones on the sand bed are getting. So I want to level out the aquascape a little bit and try to level out the corals and put them all on the same level. I know I've said that word a lot, but put them all on the same level. I'm thinking about doing sort of like a lagoon style aquascape. We're having rock structures kind of on the sides and then a little bit of sand in the middle, and then just putting all the corals on top. The plans for the 20 gallon, I'm not sure if I've really talked about that. I'm gonna make a full video on it, but I plan on doing LPS in that tank. So the bubble coral and the Duncan that are on the back glass, we're gonna take those rock frag racks off, and we're gonna put those 2 pieces of LPS in the 20 gallon and then just have the back completely clear. I wanna make it as easy as possible to clean this aquarium, get any algae out and off of the glass. I wanna be able to turkey base all the rocks and just get everything as clean as possible when I do water changes. And I feel right now, getting my hand behind this aquascape and getting pieces of algae out, it's kind of difficult. So I kind of want to just lower everything a little bit, be able to have all the corals on one level, and then maybe adjust the lighting a little bit too. I know that's a lot of things to switch up, and you're supposed to do very small increments of changes in your setups. I'm gonna take that tip for husbandry, and I'm gonna do small changes over time. So we're gonna start with like the sand bed. I'm going to try to place the corals that are on the sand bed on rocks, and then start to add some sand. It's pretty easy to add just dry aragonite. You can get a solo cup, scoop it in, and just slowly drop it in and pour it over. So we'll probably do that in the next week or so, buy about 20 pounds of sand and get that sand bed to about 2.5 inches or so. As for everything else, I don't really plan on changing much as like equipment. It's all gonna stay the same. I'm sure over time we'll add maybe a few more pieces of softies in here, but for the most part, this is going to be a softie dominated 38 gallon. Yeah, everything else will pretty much stay the same. It's more so just changing up the aquascape a little bit and adding some sand as well. I think it'll look a little bit more clean having all the coral off of the sand bed too. Having like a really deep, rich white sand bed will look really nice when it's, not littered with coral, and we'll have everything up on the rocks and mounted correctly. That is I gotta get used to this new mic. That's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Sort of a short video, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick update and also kind of a reach or a cry for help to figure out this algae issue in the tank, because it is very hard to get motivation to make content when the tank looks like this, and you gotta go in there at least once a week and pick out all this algae. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you guys want to see any sort of content, let me know in the comments down below. Be happy to make it. A couple of you guys have made suggestions, so I have written them down in a list. So I'm trying to crank out these weekly videos and put out those ideas that you guys have suggested. So I appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.